If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yes, 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 and we are live from the 419. What's going on, good people? You know who it is and what it be. This is Rob P. Let me be formal, all right? I gotta be formal because, I'm a Toledo City Council candidate. Rob Pasker, running for Toledo City Council at large. Here we go. You see that sign right there. Running for at large for the city. So for the people that don't know, there are 12 seats available on city council. 6 for people that are district city council people, meaning that they represent their district straight up. It's 6 different districts in Toledo. And so you have those people who are elected from only people in their district. And then you have 6 at-large seats. And those 6 at-large seats represent the whole city. And so, no, I'm not running for a specific district, but I am running for city council at large. So that means everybody in the city can vote for me. And I'm running to make sure that this is a city that works for everyone, where people that want to mobilize themselves socioeconomically, move up the socioeconomic ladder, mobilize themselves and their families, can do so with the opportunities that exist here in Toledo to live a high quality of life. And that means for me, housing, affordable, stable housing, whether you own or whether you rent, local economic development, empowering the local businesses and the people here to build and grow, and also investing in our people, making sure our neighborhoods are safe, making sure that the youth are invested in, making sure that our seniors are taken care of. So I'm here, and I've been here putting in the work for over a decade here in Toledo, helping families build wealth through home ownership, educating people, enlightening people, and also helping small businesses grow. And what I'm doing for City Council, I'm just looking to scale the impact that I've made. And so it's been a great journey, and I'm just really asking you all, Toledo, for a promotion come November. So it's going down, y'all. So as you can see, we are here. If you know me, you know that I like to go live, and I've been streaming since before streaming was streaming, before podcast was podcasting. I've been doing this, right? And so this is the newest iteration of what I like to do, and it's called Live from the 419. And so I'm on Facebook. We're all on Facebook, right? Because if you're watching this, you're on Facebook. We're actually live on YouTube as well. And so this is just my opportunity to come to you and talk to the people, talk about what's going on in the city, talk about what I see that's going on, and just get some feedback, and also let you know where I stand on certain things. And I can tell you that this summer has been very eventful. And, I've seen my city hurt. And I've seen my city celebrate, but nonetheless, we're here and we have to make this the best city that it can be. There are some news stories that I've seen that are very interesting, as well as seeing people react to what's going on out here. So, let's get into it. Live from the 419, we're going to talk about our first story, courtesy of WTOL. Let's see what they're talking about here. I saw a lot of people commenting on this issue of cell phones in schools. But I'm going to let WTOL tell you what's going on, and then we're going to get into it.
We were transferred to
It's trauma center. I felt a sense of...
A new policy is coming to Toledo public schools this fall that will be requiring students to give up their cell phones for the entire school day. It's all part of a new Ohio law restricting cell phone use inside public classrooms. Ryan Lucien is in studio with us this evening. Ryan, how are people inside TPS reacting to this?
Well, Michael, I talked to TPS parents, and while some feel it could help their students learn, others feel it could cut off communication when needed.
Starting August, students at TPS won't be hearing this. High school students will be given pouches that will lock their phones when they're in class. And students K through 8th grade will have their phones put in lock boxes at the beginning of the day and will be given back during dismissal. The district says the policy aims to keep students focused during classes. Writing part, quote, "We understand that this is a significant change, but we are confident it will help create a more focused and engaging learning environment for all students." For parents in the district, the opinions are mixed.
Yeah, it's definitely a distraction, 100%. I guess I've got some mixed feelings about it.
Cassandra Salas, who is both a mother and a teacher, has seen firsthand how phones have affected kids' attention in the classroom.
I feel like a lot of students, they sneak it or they have headphones in, or you walk down the hall, you can't even say hi to somebody because they're listening to some songs. So yeah, I think it's definitely a distraction.
But as a mother, she sees how phones can sometimes be useful for students, such as notifying parents in case of situations like lockdowns.
But then again, as a parent, it's like nice to know where they're at and be able to have them call me if there's an emergency. So I understand where parents want to know exactly where their kid is.
Meanwhile, TPS parent Teresa Widener says she is open to the policy, and she trusts that her daughter Bernice is safe at the school without her phone.
I trust my teachers at my daughter's school. She goes to Hawkins at TPS, and I trust them to keep me informed if a situation arises.
The policy follows similar decisions from Perrysburg schools and Washington local schools, who in the past month have both set the policy of restricting phone use to in between classes and lunch periods. Reporting in studio, Ryan Lachine, WTOL 11.
All right, you heard it. You heard it here. I mean, this is very, very interesting for me because personally, I come from an education background. First of all, if you're watching this right now, please let me know you're in the building. You see the comment there. Let me know what neighborhood you're watching from. Share, because if you care about the message, if you support me and what I'm doing here in the city, share it. Because the ultimate goal is to get this in front of as many people as possible. And also comment. I want to hear what you all have to say about this because you all had a lot to say. You had a lot to say when this story dropped. So, so like I was saying, I come from an education background. You know, once I graduated from Franklin University in 2011, I became a substitute teacher for Columbus City Schools. And I taught all the way up until about 2019. When I moved back to Toledo in 2014, I worked at Nexus Academy as a success coach, which was a hybrid high school at the time. And then from there, I worked at Discovery Academy as a para-professional in the classroom and also a substitute teacher. And then I went back to TPS and I subbed for TPS for a few years as well. So I love the kids. And I went into education because I want to have an impact on the youth, because I believe that if you touch the youth, you can leave your thumbprint on the future. And so just my experience being in the classrooms, my experience having a 14-year-old daughter and looking at what's going on in her phone during school hours, I totally support the school districts putting away the kids' phones. Because you got to think about it. How many adults? I know for me, sometimes I have to tell myself, and sometimes I have to fight my self-discipline to put my phone down, to not allow my phone to distract me. And so I can only imagine what that does for a child. You know, when we have adults who struggle to put their phones down. So I totally support it. You know, I've seen arguments on the other side, people saying like, oh, I won't be able to contact my child, blase, blase. I mean, I get it, but you have to really think about the chances of your child really being in a life-threatening situation at school. Probably less than 1%, probably less than 0.5% of it happening on any given school day. And we can go back to the times before there were cell phones. What did parents do? They called the school if they needed to reach their kids. It's as simple as that. They called the school. The truth of the matter is, if something was actually going on at the school, let's just say, heaven forbid, there was a gunman, your child sends you the message, oh, this is a school shooting. Frankly, what are you going to do about it? I mean, it's a reality for a lot of families. People have experienced that, but what happens is the school gets locked down and they're not letting anybody in there. There's not going to be any Rambo, no Superman, nobody's going to go in there but the authorities. And so I get that. Yeah, I want to be able to contact my student. But on the flip side of that, if you need to contact your student, communicate with the staff, engage with the staff as it's designed. Because these kids with cell phones in schools, it really takes away from the objectives that the schools are trying to accomplish. We can talk about just socialization. Now with the cell phones, with the earbuds, Kids don't even have to interact. And they won't interact unless they're made to interact. They'll walk around with headphones all day, playing music. Instead of talking to teachers or talking to people in the hall, they'll put their headphones on and boom. Or they'll be in class listening to music, scrolling on Facebook. Yeah. So, I mean, phones are a huge distraction. They distract from the learning process. In addition to that, cell phones during schools, what did we do when I was in school and we wanted to communicate with somebody that was in our school? We weren't sitting there texting them all day. There weren't group chats. What did we do? And if you're watching right now, let me know you're in the building. Say what's up. Let me know I'm not talking to myself. Yeah, that part. Let me know I'm not talking to myself. But what did we do? We wrote notes. The kids are texting all day nowadays, and they're not talking about anything pertinent to their growth. They're not discussing anything really positive that's going to help them on their journey in life. You know what they're doing? They're talking about people. You know what they're doing? They're passing memes. You know what they're doing? Yeah, they're bullying people. So, I mean, when it's all said and done, when you look at the big picture of phones in schools, I think it's best for schools to ban phones in the classroom. So it looks like what's going to happen is when kids get to school, they're going to have to lock their phones up in bags or lockers for the elementary schools. I'm all for it. You know, school shootings happen, but shootings happen in church. It was just a church, I believe, in Kentucky that had a church shooting. Shootings happen everywhere. There was a shooting in a grocery store in New York last year. Shootings happen everywhere, right? And so, again, if it really goes down and something does happen in the school, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So, ultimately, the schools are here to educate our children, to help them grow and mobilize and prepare them for their futures. And with what I know about cell phones, they take away from that. So with that being said, I am for this. I support it. I'm sorry for the parents that don't agree with it, but I truly believe that this is in the best interest for the greater good. So those are my thoughts. I don't have any comments, but I see we got about 7 people watching right now. So shout out to y'all. We're on YouTube. We are on Facebook. And yes, I'm Rob Pasker. So we can go on to the next topic. This right here is very interesting because, again, you know, I'm passionate about the youth. The youth, that's my thing. Since I graduated high school, I've worked with youth. Once I graduated high school, I worked for Toledo Excel, which was a scholarship program that I was a part of as a team leader for their summer enrichment programs. And I mean, for me, it's always been about giving back to the youth. All right, so there was a study done about what Toledo can do. So let's talk about it. Let's hear from it.
Department of Parks and Youth Services. Sophia Perricone, she joins us live in studio tonight, taking this issue up, and this is a big challenge to tackle.
It is, Jeff, but Stephanie Covington with the city is actively working on it. She just wrapped up months and months of focus groups with Toledo's young population to learn what they feel is missing. Covington said what they shared will help the city create more opportunities for the youth.
A new study is revealing what Toledo's youth really think about the city.
We need to be intentional in creating these spaces for them to share what they have to say about everything that we have going on.
Dr. Stephanie Covington, the city's Commissioner of Educational Engagement and Workforce Development, is leading an effort to keep Toledo's young population engaged and to keep them from moving out of the area.
When we think about the various opportunities within our city, we want to ensure that our youth are being made aware of them and that they ultimately want to stay, because as our population booms, the more industries that want to come.
Covington spoke to more than 60 kids asking what the Glass City is missing. They shared that they feel there are a lack of engagement opportunities, poor transit access, a need for more career exposure, and concerns about violence.
If youth are recognizing that some of their peers may not always
act as we would love them to act, then it may take the peers, the youth themselves, to be a part of solving the problem.
The project is getting support from Councilwoman Vanice Williams. She says talking directly to kids helps the city determine what's needed.
A lot of kids don't understand what's going on in our city because we don't know how to get it to them. But guess what? We can find a way. We can ask the kids, how do you want to get it?
Not only does Covington hope this will keep kids engaged, but also out of trouble and making a positive impact in the city.
I'd rather see you in the courtroom as a lawyer or as a judge than to be someone that's sitting there being charged with something. Or if I see you in the newspaper, I'd rather see you as someone that's being celebrated for your work than to look at your obituary.
Over the next few months, Covington plans to team up with local groups and young people to build off her findings. She says she hopes to see change within our city's youth over the next 2 years. Live in studio, Sophia Periconi, WTOL 11.
All right. I love that. I love that they are putting that together to really survey the youth and find out what they need. Going back to what we're talking about the youth. I want to shout out to Brandy, because Brandy, she hopped on and she said, today's kids can't even speak to the public. And yeah, I mean, we're living in a time where social skills are regressing. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. We live in the digital age where a lot of kids, they are so shy, very shy. They don't have the social skills, but online they have these big personalities versus who they truly are in real life. So we really, as adults, we have to inspire our children to come back to reality. And so going back to this story here, shout out to Dr. Stephanie Covington. Yes, one thing about Toledo is we experienced brain drain. There's no secret about it. Our population continues to dwindle. That needs to change. I see Toledo as, for one, it's a gold mine. It's a place of opportunity. And I truly believe that if you look at the trends of what's happening and how people are starting to move away from the coast, Toledo is in prime position to be a premier city in the Midwest, as it has always been. It has always been a premier city in the Midwest. Up until about maybe this 80s, honestly, we started to see brain drain and whatnot. But I want to see us get back to that. And talking to the children, talk to the youth to see what they really want. They want career exposure. They want opportunities. They want to be able to live in Toledo and make a decent living. That's basically it. That's what most people want. And so we have people that graduate from high school here, and they go away from school. That's great. But what is going to make these educated people, move back to Toledo? And on one hand, conversations that I have had, parents are a big reason that people move back to the city, which is, that's actually a big deal. So at a certain point, they can live away. They may live away for years, decades even. But at a certain point, for a lot of people, they'll want to come back home and be amongst their family, or maybe they start their own families and they want to raise their children around their family. And for them to do that, there has to be careers here that they can actually do and live. I know someone personally that wants to move back to Toledo, but she won't be able to match her salary doing what she does outside of Toledo here in Toledo, which it kind of is what it is, because the cost of Toledo is more affordable than most places. So there's a natural concession that will be made in moving back, but to be able to still live a high quality of life here in Toledo is what they want. And I'm not one of those people that say, oh, there's nothing going on here in Toledo. Toledo has a great version of whatever you're into. It's specifically for youth programming. I just want to shout out to the city of Toledo for putting together the funding for the youth programming, which a lot of it came from the American Rescue Plan Act funds, which are running out. But with me on city council, I would support the continuation of funding these local organizations, these neighborhood organizations that are putting programming together for our youth to expose them to possibilities of their future. And I see so many great programs. For me, because I'm a father, and I want to make sure that my daughters are exposed to things that are going to help them build their future. So we have things that my daughters are involved in. Shout out to Urban Valley 419 with Coach Zara. My daughters, they get free volleyball training. Free volleyball training. You can't beat it. What was it? 4 days a week? 4 days a week, they had free volleyball training, practice, clinics for them to get their skills up. And, my oldest daughter, Savannah's, her first time playing volleyball was last year, her freshman year down in Reynoldsburg. But that summer, I had her in the gym for 8 weeks, 4 days a week for 8 weeks training for volleyball. And then she made her volleyball team as a freshman. She made her volleyball team. She played on, it was junior varsity. And towards the end of the season, they had her sit on the bench for the varsity team because she has that talent. But it's not just the talent, because of course she's going to be an athlete. She's my daughter. I'm like that. My family's like that. We're an athletic family. But the fact that she put the time in to work on her skills, that really made the difference for her. And we did it again, and she loved it. And it was one of those things. It was free. It was available. But me being who I am, I knew where to look. So it's like we need to be in a position to get these programs out. How can we communicate these programs to the people? I had my daughter involved with, she went to Lockett Lash Studio, had a lash tech program this summer. That's still going on, by the way. And my she's interested in cosmetology. She's 14, about to be 15 in less than a month. And one thing that she's into is her appearance. She's not really big into makeup, thank God, because she's a natural beauty. But she's into her hair, she's into her eyelashes, she's into fashion, and no matter what she does in life, she's going to be interested in cosmetology. And so me being who I am, an entrepreneur, I'm like, hey, make a business out of it. So yeah, I enrolled her into the lash tech, and she really got some of the foundations of being a lash technician and creating fans and creating these little clusters of individual lashes to put on. It's so many different things. I applied for my daughters to be amongst the Curls and Confidence program that they have coming up here. That's one. CJ Mack, shout out to Go Digital. They have a vocal program. It's just so much opportunity here. I feel like we need to continue to support these organizations that are doing the work here, but also do a better job of making sure that people know about these programs. And my commitment on City Council will be to continue to support these programs. Shout out to my guy Tim Fields with BESNX Community, where he had a program. I was able to stop in and holler at him, and it was a gaming camp.
To say I'm fired about this one, guys, that would be the understatement.
Hold on.
Kurt Warner is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2017.
Going into season 4 as captain of your Sens, Brady Kachuk.
There we go. But yeah. But to have a program for these children to do what they love to do, they love to play games. Yeah, they had tournaments, but after that, they taught these children how to develop games. They taught them how to program. They taught them how to code. These are opportunities that exist here in Toledo, Ohio. And that's one of the reasons that I believe that this is one of the best places to raise a family, because truly anything is possible in Toledo. You can make it happen. Of course, there are people who say, oh, I want to move. Hey, get up out of here. By all means, leave. Live your life, experience something new. I support that 100% because I did it myself. At a certain point in college, I said, you know what? It's time for me to get up out of here. I felt like I had done everything I wanted to do up to that point in life, and so I moved to Columbus so I could grow. And that's what I did. And I went down there and finished school, and I built my businesses to the point where I built a business that I felt that I could scale here in Toledo. And that's exactly what I did, and I've helped a lot of people in the process. So by all means, leave. Leave. Come back, though. Bring your talents, bring your knowledge back, and make this a better place to live, right? So, no, I support what they're doing. Let's find out what the kids need. Something else that the children did say is they want to see less violence. And this is a touchy issue because it's one of those things. It's like, there's no one solution to violence. There's no one solution to violence. There's no one solution to crime. We could talk about, yes, police, support our police. I agree. Support our police. Support our fire. Support our police. Support public safety. But that can't be the end all be all. We also need support for mental health services. People need to learn how to cope with anxiety. They need to learn how to cope with stress. And it's one of those things. I think people do things like, how can you to kill somebody, you can't have anything to lose. You really can't have anything to lose to go off and kill somebody. Either you snap or you really don't have anything to lose. Because even if you snap, that's not an excuse to kill somebody. And so it's one of those things. I think it takes everybody. If it's about violence, it's going to take everybody. We just saw over the 4th of July weekend, 6 people were shot over the weekend, and another one passed away right after the weekend. And for me, that's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And in Toledo, we got to do better. We got to do better. But I also believe that crime is a symptom of poverty. And that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about helping people mobilize social and economically up the ladder and creating those types of opportunities by supporting the organizations that are doing the work already in our neighborhoods. I know that the city can't do everything. The mayor doesn't. Mayor can't do it all, but we can support the people that are doing the work. So that's where I stand on that. Shout out to everybody tapping in. If you're watching right now, my name is Rob Pasker. I'm a candidate for Toledo City Council, real estate broker of Pasker Real Estate, New Millennium Real Estate Services for the People, president of the Ohio Realtist Association, focused on building democracy, furthering democracy in housing. Shout out to the realtors across the state. We got some work to do, y'all, but it's about to go down, and we're gonna touch a lot of people. Podcast host of On the Cusp podcast. I interview thought leaders and progressive individuals here in Northwest Ohio about what they are doing, because everybody I talk to is on the cusp in whatever field that they are in. So tap into that at robpasker.com. Also, a co-host of the Realtist Real Talk podcast, where we tell the stories of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the leaders, the partners, and really give you a behind-the-scenes look of how we make this realtist magic happen at the national level. And a father, amongst many other things. And so, speaking about realtors, speaking about being a real estate broker, yes, I'm very passionate about housing. I truly believe, I've seen the city did a survey, and it asked the city, what's the biggest issues that we are seeing here in Northwest Ohio? And the biggest issue on the survey was housing, affordable housing, having resources to help people renovate, abandoned properties in their neighborhoods, homelessness. The list goes on and on. So I am very passionate about housing, because it's more than just about housing. It's more than just having a roof over your head. It's about providing people an opportunity to acquire an asset that will set their families up with financial stability for generations to come. And for most Americans, that asset is a home. It's home ownership. And we live in a city that currently the home ownership rate is dropping year after year after year. And that's very alarming, because what's happening is Toledo is very well known across the world as one of America's best real estate markets to invest in. It's very affordable. It's affordable than most markets. Literally, our affordability is in the top 10 in the country when you look at the realtor studies. But what's happening is people that are trying to purchase their first homes, they're being beat out by investors. So don't get me wrong. I support investors. I do. Landlords, housing providers are the largest small business in Northwest Ohio. People that own properties and rent them out are the largest small business in Toledo. So I am not anti-landlord. I'm not anti-investors. I do believe, though, that investors should invest ethically. And I do believe that we have to put policies in place, resources in place, to make sure that the people that live here in Toledo, the people that build Toledo, the people that make Toledo run, have access to that opportunity to solidify their family's financial foundation through homeownership. And one of the biggest things that I see as a real estate broker working in the field is Toledo lacks affordable inventory. We lack affordable inventory. When I say affordable, I'm saying like less than $175,000. You know, between me and my agent Daisy and Patricia, you know, a lot of our clients has only spent $100. They may even spend $80,000. That's still possible these days. And so, again, if I have someone that is using down payment assistance and they give a bona fide offer, maybe even come over the asking price, but you got a cash offer that can close next week, you can't compete with that. And so I truly believe that the city needs to be supporting policies and programs that open the door for Toledoans to achieve homeownership. And so, with that being said, there's an issue that's going on in South Toledo that I think is very interesting. I'm going to pull this up here. I think it's very interesting, and it's very eye-opening as far as the situation, because how did we get here? How did we get here? But we're going to watch the story first. Let's watch the story, and then I can let you know what I think about what's going on and how I would operate. So I'm pulling this up. It's got an ad. Let's get this ad out of here. I got to get this ad out of here. If you're watching right now, do me a favor, like, share, comment. I see I got some people watching on Facebook, people watching on YouTube. Let me know you're here. Let me know what your thoughts are.
The company at the center of a controversial mining operation in South Toledo. Rocky Ridge needs 9 votes from City Council to expand its mining capabilities and rezone the area from residential to industrial. That crucial vote happens in just 5 days. Tonight, our 11 Investigates Melissa Andrews is looking into how the mining started, the man behind Rocky Ridge, and its relationship with the city and mayor.
Bill Hoig has been fighting against mining near his South Toledo home even before Rocky Ridge came into the picture in 2021.
The city never should have allowed this to happen way back.
He says nearly all of his neighborhood is against mining, rezoning, and the expansion of the project to mine sand and clay and replace it with spent lime. And he accuses Rocky Ridge of illegally mining the property, knowing it was not properly zoned. And he says the city knew about it too.
They knew before they ever purchased the property it wasn't going to comply with city ordinances. They knew that. The city, somewhere along the line before that purchase happened, told them to go ahead and do it. They've allowed this to happen from day one.
Rocky Ridge told us it was unaware 4004 Angola Road was improperly zoned and only discovered it when it filed for the expansion. But these documents obtained by 11 Investigates show a different story. This zoning application approved in September of 2020 shows the company sought zoning approval for a wetland and was approved for a wetland only. Another document dated September 30th, 2020 specifically states this letter does not grant approval for a mining operation. When 11 Investigates asked a City of Toledo spokesperson why Rocky Ridge is allowed to continue illegally mining, the city said, quote, "The situation is nuanced. Although the zoning is currently out of compliance, the business holds air pollution permits from the city and the EPA, as well as a mining permit from ODNR. There's not a straightforward answer to whether they are allowed to mine there," end quote. However, 11 Investigates reviewed Rocky Ridge's application for that ODNR permit, in which the owner, Charles Stanley, agreed to comply with all zoning resolutions or ordinances in effect at the time of the application. That was in October of 2024, when the area was and still is zoned residential.
This particular cut is where we're bringing in City of Toledo UWT.
Stanley is the man behind Rocky Ridge Development. The company has been awarded multiple contracts worth millions by the city to remove its spent lime for years. Ed Moore was at the helm of public utilities and helped secure those contracts on behalf of the city, including one for $11 million in December of 2023. When Moore announced his retirement from the city 2 months later, The city said he would continue to serve the city of Toledo in an advisory role.
One recommendation they said.
Moore became managing director at Rocky Ridge 2 months after that. 11 Investigates also found that while Charles Stansley was making millions removing the city's spent lime, he owed more than $155,000 to the state in personal taxes and eventually paid those taxes in 2022. But while the state was trying to collect that payment, Board of Elections campaign finance disclosures show Charles, a Republican, donated $14,000 to the campaigns of Mayor Wade Kapsakavich. The mayor, a Democrat, with the power, with council approval, to award city contracts like the $11 million contract awarded to Rocky Ridge in December of 2023.
That's wild.
Just days after the city approved the wetland in 2020, Stansley and Rocky Ridge also donated another $16,000 to the PAC called Forward Toledo. The mayor disperses the money in that PAC to support his ballot issues. Stansley's brother Richard also donated while being sued by the state for delinquent taxes. We found Richard currently owes the state of Ohio nearly $1.6 million in unpaid state sales tax. Richard Stansley was sued by the State Department of Taxation in 2012 for failure to pay those taxes and currently has a lien on property. 11 Investigates asked the mayor about the donations. A statement was provided saying, campaign support has never and will never influence how the city enforces its laws, and the city has historically allowed non-compliant businesses to continue when there is a good faith effort to correct violations. 11 Investigates asked for examples of businesses with city contracts that have continued in non-compliance. We're still waiting for those.
That's
Bill
crazy.
Hoyt told us nothing has appeared to be right since day one with this site, and he hopes that'll change in a couple days.
That's wild.
And the city of Toledo's name is all over that stuff. They facilitated that purchase. They reached a certain point and they told them, go ahead, we'll allow you to dump there. You can't do that. You're breaking 2 ordinances in the city of Toledo. You can't dump and you can't mine on residential property.
For 11 Investigates, I'm Melissa Andrews.
Wow.
City Councilman Adam Martinez tells 11 Investigates that he will propose a wind-down plan at Tuesday's council vote on the Rocky Ridge rezoning. If council votes against rezoning, the plans call for Rocky Ridge to be allowed to finish up its contract with the city, then clean up the Angola Road site and leave.
Shout out to Councilman Adam Martinez, because honestly, he was one of the only ones that actually stood up and said something about how preposterous this whole situation is. And honestly, I don't know why there's so much like back and forth about it. I think it's the situation is cut and it's clear that should not have happened. You look at how much land that was, how many houses could be built on that land. It's already in a neighborhood. We have a housing shortage. That's prime real estate. It's close to shopping. It's close to the expressways. It's close to schools. How many people can be housed off of that land? Instead, we take that land and use it as mining in the city on 2 major roads. That's crazy. And I don't understand how that slipped through the cracks and how that was allowed to happen when we're doing industrial work in a residentially zoned land. That's just preposterous. So, if it was me on city council right now, there would be no question. The answer would be no to Rocky Ridge development. Finish up the contract that you shouldn't have got with the city in the first place, and get on. And let's get some developers. Let's get some local developers in here to come build some affordable housing. Let's build some housing, some single family homes that people can purchase and live and be happy. Because that's what we need here in Northwest Ohio. We need more houses. We need more affordable single family properties below $180,000. So I will be there tomorrow at City Council, and if you're watching right now, it's going to get juicy. So I would tell you to be there as well, because it's about to go down. And I will be there, and then I will come back and report what I found. I will come back and report what I saw tomorrow night on live from the 419. So they got to get that together. I mean, and then the crazy thing is the city is allowing this company they're awarding them money, millions of dollars, to do things that are non-compliant with ordinances that we already have in place. That's not right. That's not right. It doesn't look good. It does not look good at all when you talk about $30,000 in donations from this company that, for one, is not a part of your political party. That doesn't look good. Especially when we have city council people who were ousted and jailed and crucified because they took $500 from someone and voted a certain way. So I don't like it, but I know that that's one of the reasons that I'm running for city council is because I want more accountability and I want more transparency from our decision makers. I'm running as an independent. I'm running as an independent because I don't want to be tied to no political favors. I don't want to be tied to anybody else as I do what I feel is best for the people of Toledo. And so I just don't know how this was allowed to happen and how it has gone so long and gotten so far. But that's one of the reasons that I'm running, to provide transparency and accountability and leadership in Northwest Ohio, to make sure that this doesn't happen, to make sure that people that live in these neighborhoods don't have to fight to be heard, to make sure that people don't have to fight to have the right thing done, right? So that's why I'm running, and that's why I need your support to get there, because this is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. So with that being said, that's it for tonight. This is gonna be I'm not gonna say it's gonna be daily, but I'm coming to y'all. I'm coming. I'm going to be in front of you. It's going to happen. Please visit PaskerForToledo.com to learn more about who I am and what I plan to do on City Council, and also how you can support. Volunteer. Let's host a meet and greet for me. Host a meet and greet. There's a lot of ways to volunteer, but just sign up on the website and I can tell you more. Donations. Campaigns can't run off of passion, and I got a lot of passion to give, but campaigns can't run off of passion. So your support in that manner, and also just talking to your friends about it. If you see this, share it. That helps immensely. So with that being said, it's 11:38. Kind of went live later than I wanted, but this is my first time doing this from live from the 419. So stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and comment button, and I appreciate you all. This is going to be a journey, but stay tuned. You're able to witness it. You're able to witness this journey, and it's going down right now. We're going to the top as we forge pathways of prosperity for more Toledoans. So, again, my name is Rob Pasker, and I am asking you to support me as I run to support and represent you on Toledo City Council. So if you're watching right now, say what's up. If you didn't say what's up, leave a comment anyway, and I'll talk about it last time. All right, so I appreciate you all, and have a great night. And catch me on Twitch. I'm about to stream on Twitch. Catch me on Twitch.